Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the World Championship Series Europe round of 16. Europe Premier League coming to the end here in 2014. We still have a few more matches to go, though, particularly in Group B. Funker's back with me. In the end, finally, we kind of got the two players that we thought we would get in the upper bracket from what we were discussing earlier on. But actually, I think VortiX played very well in that game. Yeah,
he did. I kind of expected him to, as they said, as the caster said, that he did his homework. And he did. Like, the build he used on the first game was perfect to counter how San is supposed to play. So that was really great from VortiX. And I think he wasn't that far to make an upset and beat San, PVZ. But, yeah, we got the two players that we wanted, but we expected to be in the winners match.
Yeah, absolutely. Those two Koreans will be facing off against each other a little bit later on. We're going to concentrate on our European ZvZ, and these two are, I don't know if they're the two best Zerg experts right now in Europe, but they're certainly two of the most consistent in WCS terms. Yeah. And VortiX, unarguably, has been the most successful Zerg in Europe for the last 12 months. So this is going to be a very interesting match. We know how tricky TLO can be. I think the T in TLO must stand for tricky.
Tricky.
And VortiX, he's no slouch. He knows when to pull stuff out and change things up a little bit and be a bit clever and smart as well. They've got a limited history against each other.
That's what I wanted to ask you.
Yeah, it's actually only 1-0 to VortiX. One match, and it was a 2-1. It's kind of pointless even talking about it in the sense that it doesn't really make any difference right now. They're both pretty decent in ZvZ. The statistics are, pretty good for both of them. They're not outstanding. They're not terrible, which leads me to believe that this is a tricky one to call.
Yeah.
If you only use the matches that we've seen so far, then you'd probably be favouring VortiX right now.
Yeah, if you think about the performance that he did in his first game compared to TLO's, yeah, he is the favorite in my opinion. But it's really hard to call, and I wanted to know the history between them, because usually ZvZ you can see trends. You can see people getting the upper end over and over again, because that's a matchup that is, in my opinion, really mental, and you need to really figure out how your opponent is playing and play mind games, and the opening is really important. So basically, if they don't have an history, it's really hard to call. Depends if TLO digested his first loss. That was pretty brutal, as we said. So if he digested that, I think he has a shot, and yeah, it's a pretty difficult match to call, in my opinion.
We're into map vetoes right now, and I think more than ever, mirror matchup, I mean, arguably, you could say it doesn't really matter because it's ZvZ, so whatever. But actually, with these two players and the way they play and their styles, maybe the maps make a little bit more difference than normal.
Yeah, probably. I mean, the one that the one map that you can use to hide your builds might be interesting, especially for TLO, in my opinion. But ZvZ is not a really map-dependent matchup. I mean, TVT is, as a mirror matchup, it is really important because you've got a lot of room that you can exploit with tanks and stuff like that. ZvZ, it's not really like this, so I don't really expect anything really too crazy to come out of the map pool.
We're going to get Overgrowth. I think that's a fairly safe bet. Beyond that, there's only actually been 4...
Catalina.
You think Catalina?
Yeah,
interesting.
I'm putting my money on Catalina.
There hasn't been a mirror match in ZvZ and WCS on Catalina ever.
Really?
Ever.
Damn. I thought I was really clever with this one, but
it might be.
I remember Shenzhen. We had quite a lot of ZvZ on Catalina. I remember the double Linga
There
braid.
have only been 4 ZvZ matches in the round of 32. 2 were on Overgrowth. 1 was on King Sejong, and 1 was on Deadwing.
Okay.
So,
and the first veto is Catalina. I'm really happy about that. I'm really happy about that.
Funky,
that was a
you're
nice
fired.
call. No, please, no, please. Don't send me back to my room, my cage. Please, no. But yeah.
Deadwing's gone as well.
Yeah, Deadwing out.
I mean, these aren't, I think we know pretty much where this is going. I wouldn't be surprised to see him play Nimbus, because I think, I've been saying this for a little while, I think it's a Zerg map. I do. I feel like it's... I mean, the statistics bear this out as well. Terrans have a 17% win rate against Zergs on Nimbus.
That's pretty good.
And
that's pretty good.
Protoss have 20% win rate.
And Nimbus is out, man. Nimbus is out.
Okay.
And
Let's stop
VortiX,
talking about that.
VortiX actually
okay, can we just
vetoed it.
agree that we're both rubbish at selecting maps?
Yeah, especially in ZvZ. Like, I would argue that I'm really bad at expecting maps in ZvZ. But as you said, Nimbus might have been a map where Muta play would have been interesting, and TLO is quite known for using Muta in the matchup. So I don't know. That's VortiX veto. So maybe he doesn't want that to happen.
Foxtrot second map.
Foxtrot, yeah. A lot of things can go wrong on Foxtrot, by the way, because there's a gold base, and if they spawn in the direction when you can take the gold base really easily, this is Roach War, but on steroids, because you've got the gold base and you can crank up even more roaches.
In a way, I know it's not the same map as Habitation, but that's the replacement for Habitation in the map pool. So
and Overgrowth a little bit too, because you've got the gold base that you can use. So we'll see if that comes into play in ZvZ.
Difficult for Europeans at this point. In the sense that we have to lose one of these great players. They've both, as we've said before, been very consistent over the last 2 years of WCS. They've been in every single Premier League that has played. So between them, they have 12 seasons of WCS Europe,
an amazing
which
performance.
is absolutely incredible. VortiX actually has a couple of things that also stand out. Regardless of what happens in this match, he will become tonight the 32nd player in history to go past $100,000 in prize money, regardless of whatever happens.
Nice.
And I think that's an amazing achievement for a man who actually doesn't have a major, a Premier win. He
that
doesn't
says
have
a lot about his consistency.
Absolutely, he's done extremely well over the last couple of years. So congratulations to him for that, regardless of whatever happens. He's also the only player to reach the round of 16 in WCS Europe every single season. The only player in the round of 16. I think that's
even counting Convenience then.
Terrific, absolutely terrific. You know,
it is
massively consistent, very successful. But I guess all of that doesn't matter to him right now because he needs to get to the round of 8, and this is his first step towards it.
And he needs to build roaches to do it.
He needs to build roaches. I wasn't going to mention roaches because the last time we had a ZvZ here on WCS Europe, it became RVR. Are we going to get another one? Let's find out as we head over to the commentary team. Once again, it's Apollo and Hasselhoff. Have fun, guys.
Thank you very much, Terran boys over there with your awesome predictions on the maps and stuff and unit compositions. But here we are, ready for this next one. Unfortunately, one of these players is going to be eliminated, but on the other side of things, I think we were kind of all expecting this match to happen one way or the other today. Somewhere today this was going to happen.
Yeah, I think so too. Sun and Yoda winning their first best of 3 is no big surprise to me. VortiX definitely had a good shot. While TLO, he got crushed in the first best of 3. I really hope he forgot about that series and he can now focus on his ZvZ against VortiX.
Yeah, not had the best year, TLO, with a round of 16 finish in Season 1, round of 32 in Season 2, and here he is in the round of 16 again for Season 3, so not the best record, but a stable one.
It's a stable one, yeah. I just wanted to say it's not the worst either.
19 wins, 23 losses, but we talked about it. They've played each other in one best of 3, or 5 I think it was, in the entire of their careers against each other in recorded games, in a tournament setting. How is this possible?
I have no idea.
How have they only played once? They've both been playing StarCraft 2 from the get-go.
Dodging each other.
Yeah, they've always dodged each other. And now they actually, at the time they met, it was just an online tournament, Fragbite Masters in 2013. But here is the real deal. This is the one. This is the big one for both of these players.
Yeah, this one counts.
Yeah, this is big.
You can forget the online competition, even though there was quite a lot of money on the line at the Fragbite tournament. This is where it counts. ZvZ, I think they have both very good ZvZ. I know VortiX has good ZvZ. When he was in Mouse Sports, he always said, yeah, I'm fine with whatever Zerg I get in the Clan Wars or wherever. I would like to play against them. And I think TLO has very good record in ZvZ as well. So, and as the other guys mentioned, we will probably see a lot of roaches, but I know that TLO sometimes likes to play Mutalisk or Infestus way earlier than others do that.
Yeah.
Could be interesting.
Funker brought up a really good point for a Terran player, to be honest, or for Funker as an observer. I don't know which one I want to look at that. Is it history in a mirror matchup is massive. You play Protoss versus Protoss against Soke and other Germans time after time after time after time, and it has such an impact. Same comes to Zerg versus Zerg here, is that it really matters a lot. It really, really does matter a lot when it comes to the build order choice and the way that you think your opponent's going to play. But whatever the case, the second time ever that these two players will play against each other here to the bottom left-hand side of Overgrowth. The first map of this best of 3 playing for Team Liquid. It is the German player, TLO. And I think we can all safely say when he watches this VOD back maybe and listens to it, he needs to step it up from the first series of the day here. As his opponent up here to the top right started quite well in today's games as the blue Zerg player playing for Team Millennium. It is VortiX. Spain versus Germany.
Yeah. And I remember VortiX has some very nasty ZvZ strategies as well. A little bit like the games we saw from Mini Razor in the round of 32 against Snood, with the mass circlings, 1-1 upgrades. That's something that VortiX also likes to play. Not necessarily that he will do it against TLO, because I think that TLO has a very specific and his own style as well. That's something we could see. And yeah, as you mentioned, they got like no record against each other.
Yeah. And both players already, rolling the build order openings.
Yeah.
It's 15 hatchery here for TLO. Over the more cautious opening here from VortiX, which is the 15 spawning pool here. So VortiX just opening up a little bit cautious in case TLO was to open up the aggression in the first map.
Yeah, that's true. And but on the other hand, I guess that they meet each other quite often in the European ladder. I was just thinking they never played against each other in official matches, but
sure
they are they are very high ranked. Both of them, I think TLO's usually around the top 20, and VortiX told me today that he's in the top 20 as well. Even though he played a lot of Heroes, he said he also played quite a lot of StarCraft because he had I think the summer break or something, so he didn't have to learn too much, he didn't have to go to university, so he had quite a lot of time to play.
So he traded his school time direct switch out with half Heroes of the Storm.
Yeah, that's what he did. And yeah, so as you mentioned, Hedge first against Pool into Hedge.
Yeah, slight advantage for the gas here on VortiX's side. He's going to be able to get Zergling speed out earlier, or a layer out earlier, maybe an upgrade out earlier. Of course, 3 very different ways to play Zerg versus Zerg here, with very different results.
Yeah, that's right. And we will see how he spends his gas. Not too much to say about it right now. It's just the players droning up, doing their stuff, placing their overlords on the sweet spots on the map, so they have vision throughout the mid game. And
with spawn and pull first and hatch first, is the player who goes hatch first here has to build a set of links or try to get some gas scout, whereas the overlord of the spawn and pull first player can actually go in against the hatch first player to have a look at the gas timing, so VortiX knows where TLO's Zergling speed is.
That's a good point, yeah.
TLO not with that info yet. He's a little bit in the dark. This could be completely gasless. And are we going to see a block from VortiX? Usually a drone and a queen is sufficient enough.
He's trying, but the creep spread is delaying it a little bit. Yeah,
he tried. And unfortunately not denied here. And he is going to see that Zergling speed is on its way. And also, more importantly, gas is still being mined here. So TLO is going to have to take the defensive stance here. He's got 3 queens out. He'll probably make a Roach Warren and an Evolution Chamber wall here. As you can already see, he's extending his creep to push that out to make sure he can make this wall properly. And the Baneling Nest coming in.
Yeah, very early. And it was outside the vision of the Zergling. So it could be still both, right? In defensive one or in offensive one. It lines up with speed very well, so maybe we'll see some kind, like, I don't know, like 10, 14 Zerglings or something behind this. He's adding a few Zerglings right now.
Yeah, it depends, because he just saw a lot of drones being made from TLO, but he also saw 3 queens.
Yeah.
And on this map, it's only a 3-structure wall, which isn't hard to make.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think he'll fake it and then just tech out, which he's taking a second gas for here. So he's going to build a few, but I don't expect more than that.
No, it seems to be just defensive Zerglings that in case of an attack, he can morph into Banelings.
Yeah.
Is he walling off as well? Yeah, there we do have the Evo Chamber. The wall setup is not as beautiful as on TLO side.
But I think I favor TLO here. Didn't open up as aggressive tendency with the Zergling speed and Belly Nest down faster. He's got the faster layer, he's got the faster upgrade, and he's got better creep spreader. I definitely have to favor TLO with these openings.
Yeah, it's a good point. The early speed, you invest the drones mining gas, you invest the minerals and gas into the speed, and he didn't use it at all. Like there was, he only made four Zerglings, right? So he couldn't really make use of speed at all.
And the game's going to evolve into the third base play here, but with TLO's faster layer and also faster roach speed, he's going to have the monopoly, I suppose you can call it, for the next part of this game. He's going to be able to control the game. And roaches were spotted. You don't really know if that's a lot or not at this point. Just 2 could be defensive. And VortiX has got to be very careful not to overdrone here. If he loses his third, and to roaches that aren't going to be stopped because they got roach speed, and he's still building drones here.
Yeah.
He's going to be so careful. He's got no idea that TLO's building up this roach count.
Yeah, how many does he have? He's adding 4 more. He's on 9 roaches, 6 more are on the way. And speed and +1 are lining up pretty well, so it is unseen for a while because the overlords, he's getting an overseer right now, VortiX that is.
And TLO is actually transferring some drones needlessly to that third base. It's more so of a, hey, I'm still building drones, go over there and check it out, and he feels safe to drone more.
He sees the roaches now with his only a few of them, but he sees them leaving. Did he see it though?
He started his roach production anyway here.
Okay, yeah.
So if he defends this, he's actually going to be in a good position, I suppose, because he's mining a little bit better currently.
21 against 8 right now on the field. Of course,
roach speed is huge advantage.
Yeah, of course there are some in production, but they have to walk from the main base to the third before they can fight. So it takes a while to have all the roaches together.
Yeah, good position here for TLO. Remember, he's got that +1 attack advantage by about 10 or 15 seconds. Bailey's come in to help out, but a good move coming in here from TLO, and it's just set himself up so beautifully from the build order to the mid-game to the micro right now as well, pulling the red health roaches back in. He's taking such a very good fight right now. A fantastic opportunity here for TLO to take map number 1. As you said, the roaches have got to come all the way from the main base here. And unfortunately for VortiX, 1-2 drone too many here.
Yeah, and he has to pull his drones. Everything is dying. Drones are dying. Roaches are dying.
Yeah.
VortiX is down 30 supply almost. And
massive advantage for TLO. He's got 59 drones. He's got 3 hatcheries. It looks like VortiX could lose his third here. And then that +2 attack on the way and more roaches being made as well. Just a beautifully clinical strike here from TLO. In and out. The hatchery is down. And this is such a... it's game-winning advantage.
Good control as well. The moving shot of TLO, getting a lot of roaches on, like, while he's retreating and keeping his own alive. He got the hatchery, as you mentioned. All the drones died. And this is, a game-ending advantage he has.
It's huge right now. And VortiX is coming over the other side of the map, but he has a massive roach disadvantage here. As he walks up and is like, oh my god, this guy's still got his third. He's got more roaches. This is not good. GG called, and a very clean game from the German here. Just perfectly executed, no mistakes, great build order, great strategy, easy win.
Yeah, perfectly summed up. Just a very well executed build order. Speed +1 and the roach count lined up perfectly. Then he had also very good control in the fight. He was setting up the line, and you mentioned he was pulling back the red roaches that were under fire already. So just beautiful played. While VortiX, he was a little bit late on the scouting, I think, and maybe he was a little bit behind from the early, from the openings, the early speed. He didn't make use of it. Small things like that, and he overdroned a little bit, as you mentioned. He was still building drones where he probably should have started roaches instead, but he had no idea what was coming, right? So it's a very hard call to make.
All right. Well, next map here, Foxtrot Labs. And for the first time ever, VortiX could be eliminated. Well, not for the first time ever, sorry, but the first time since Season 1, 2013, he could be eliminated in the round of 16. For every other season, Season 2 and 3 last year, Season 1 and 2 this year, he's finished at least top 8. So this is, we're talking a year and a half worth of time since he got eliminated at this stage of the tournament.
That's a very long period in StarCraft 2. You have to keep in mind, in StarCraft, it's very hard to stay at the top as a good player, even as a good player. We see that very oftentimes that the GSL winner is actually dropping out, sometimes even dropping out of Code A afterwards. And he will try to avoid that. Foxtrot is going to be the next map, and we just heard Funka before talking about roaches on, what did he say, on steroids, I think? Because of the gold base, it's like an injection of minerals. You can build more, your upgrades getting quicker, or you can build them quicker. It's a very interesting part, but we will see they didn't spawn that way, so...
Yeah, it's to the top, top right to bottom left. Down here in that bottom left, as the red Zerg player currently leading this best of 3 series, 1-0. It's Liquid TLO. And a very different TLO this series compared to the first one, who just kind of fell apart a little bit. But this one is in much better shape. Maybe a couple of confident or, you know, confidence-giving words from his brother. I don't know what it was. But up here to the top right is the blue Zerg player playing for Team Millennium. It's VortiX.
Yeah.
And now must win to avoid elimination.
Yeah, he definitely collected himself in the break. Also, of course, VortiX wasn't aggressive the way we saw Yoda playing.
Right.
So that could be the difference, but just very well executed build order. And as we mentioned before, everything lined up, and he was just able to aim, move, and kill VortiX.
But this map, compared to the previous one, Hazwabs, TLO cannot play the same style. You do not have a 3-structure wall off here. So you can play greedier with a 3-structure wall off, but this one, no, no, no.
Because of the rocks or in general of the ramp, you mean?
I mean, if the wall always has to be around the hatchery, right?
Yeah, the creep spread. I was just thinking, like, as a Protoss,
yeah.
But yeah, the creep spread is not there.
Yeah, I mean, he's not going to get creep spread that far, and it's going to be too long to get it that far, which, so... yeah, he's going to have, if he does, he's going to have to try to make a wall around the hatchery, but then he's going to have to use drones on hold move, hold control, and stuff like that. So it's just not really as viable to use that strategy here, or that opening.
Yeah, that's true. I think in the other positions, it's even worse. Like speedling openings on the other 2 positions, the natural is so wide open, and the queen is rather far away from the hatchery, at the ramp, I mean. So it's definitely a very tricky map. But they didn't veto it. They didn't veto it. They decided to veto the 4-player maps, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually have them open.
Yeah.
TLO vetoed Catalina and Merry-Go-Round, the 3-player maps, and VortiX got rid of Deadwing and Nimbus. Yeah. So yeah, the bigger maps.
So all the big maps. It's nice to see, or I don't know if it's nice to see, but it's interesting to see. They didn't want to have any kind of gamble on the bigger maps. So they decided to play the 2-player maps. Let's see. So VortiX is taking, or is mining gas already, while TLO once again is, I think it was exactly the same opening. I was not watching too closely, to be honest. And of course, they were the same stuff as before. They placing their overlords in a position so they can see the Zerglings, or like Roach is running out. VortiX is trying to scout with his Zerglings.
Yeah.
It's running over right now.
TLO will do that just a little bit later on here, but the denial is actually really important. I mean, if you can get this deny, it's actually pretty huge.
The scout deny, yeah.
Yeah, just not allow your opponent to know if you're playing greedy or aggressive is huge.
TLO's gas was quite a bit later here, because speed is already on the way for VortiX when TLO started to mine gas.
Much preferred TLO here. I mean, he's
once again, right? Yeah.
He's blocking his information. Yeah. But also at the same time, he's using his Overlord better than VortiX is. Look at the Overlord that's on the other side of the map. As long as he can continue to block here. Oh, beautiful
nice
blocking
control
there. Beautiful block. But he's also scouting his opponent's gases. So not only is he hiding, he's also scouting too. Unfortunately, there for TLO. Oh, he saw Zergling speed on the way.
Yeah, definitely. The spawning pool is in vision of the Overlord almost.
Yeah.
He saw the wiggling. And
so he knows that aggression's coming. Spinecrawler thrown down 3 queens again. Maybe he is going to try and make a bit of a wall here. Now, you can make a 2-structure wall with a queen that helps the Spinecrawler from being protected, but of course the mineral line is going to be exposed. If we are to see aggression come out from VortiX, which TLO is thinking it very well could be.
So is that a small mistake by VortiX not to have an Overlord at the site to check the gases?
Yeah, I definitely
think so, right?
Yeah. TLO definitely utilized this much better.
I think so too. That's a very, very important information early on.
And TLO is choosing the Evolution Chamber and Roach Warren again here. And he's going to get a nice and early upgrade and going to take that upgrade advantage once again. Here's the complete wall, or the wall on this left-hand side, whereas there's the Baneling nest coming in for VortiX, who's, you know, playing a little bit safer on this regard. I mean, you don't really need a Baneling nest to play safe on Overgrowth, but you definitely do on this map. I mean, TLO is definitely weak and vulnerable to a couple of different attacks that could come his way.
It's very similar once again by VortiX. This time the Baneling nest was a little bit delayed. I think it was not as fast.
TLO's throwing down a Baneling nest. This is, so he's going to show, he shows the same at the front, right? But it's actually going to be, from what I can imagine, a Roach Baneling attack, which capitalizes very heavily on what, you know, VortiX has, or could have.
Yeah, definitely. Looks like it. VortiX is getting the lair, so no intention of getting units right now.
Third base coming down, which TLO knows everything is going in favor of TLO right now. He's building up the perfect attack here.
Yeah, once
as
again.
long as he doesn't get scouted, which I don't think he will.
Oh, how? How would you scout the Bane
Maybe
list?
Lings run around and get in, but that's a massive, massive difficulty to do so. 3 Overlords on the way, and the drones are just rising right now. He sees a couple of roaches.
Yeah, he saw the roaches, so I think he will be afraid. He's getting Banelings at home, 4 of them. He should start a Spine, right?
Well, I almost need to, you have to give up the third, obviously. You need to be, Spine on the natural, lots of units because you don't have a Roach Warren, and as much as these Banelings are good versus Lings, they're not going to be good versus Roaches, and there is a lot of them on the way here. Roach Warren very close to finishing up for VortiX. He realizes what he's playing against here, but you've got to give the third up here. You've got no way to hold this out in the open.
Yeah, I don't know. He's trying to. Some of the
I don't understand.
Me neither, actually. This is going to be very, very hard for him. The Banelings do explode. One Baneling of TLO is still alive. It gets... Oh! Okay, no. Not quite the connection he wanted.
And TLO's just going to walk up here, and Roaches are on the way. 5 Roaches and 10 Zerglings on the way here for VortiX with a couple of Banelings as well. He's down half the army supply currently of TLO. He's going to walk up here very easily. If there's a flood of Zerglings, he can easily build some Banelings of his own with the Baneling Nest finishing up. But VortiX has lost 1 or 2 Queens. He really didn't understand what was happening.
No, there's no Spine. He doesn't have a Spine to fall back to. Now he's pulling drones again.
He's pulling drones, but I think this is maybe going to be over here. TLO's perfect attack.
Yeah, he kills a lot of drones because the drones have to fight. Good control there by VortiX, though. A lot of drones actually survive, but can he clean up the roaches? Yeah, it looks like it. But TLO is reinforcing with the Zerglings, and a lot of units are running across the map.
Yeah, this is very difficult here. Losing all these Queens, losing the production here. But VortiX is going to try and hold on. He's still building nothing but units. TLO's going to get into that drone line. He does have a follow-up plan here with Roach's Lair and another Evolution Chamber coming in, but there is a lot of drone damage happening now.
Yeah, this time the drones almost all died. 12 of them died, and there's one single Zergling focusing the red drones. Beautiful control there by TLO.
Yeah, 13 drone kills, 67 supply to 61. The one thing that VortiX has going for him now is +1 and Roach speed. And he's going to try and continue on from this point. He does maybe have an opportunity to get some damage done, but TLO's not that far behind in army supply. And just needs to kind of hold on for his 1-1 upgrades to complete them. A couple more Roaches to come out, but with a Queen with 150 energy, 3 transfuses available.
And the Spine Crawler. Look at this. He's dropping the creep from the Overlord, so the Spine Crawler can root. This is looking very good. As you mentioned, 3 transfuses almost to save the Spine or the Roaches.
Yeah.
He's getting more units right now, and
Roach
VortiX
speed can start, and he's got a better income because of the higher drone count, because of this successful attack.
And VortiX started to drone again. He knows that he cannot break TLO. And the only thing he has going for him is the 3rd hatchery.
Good target down on the Banelings there, and TLO is going to push this as much back as he can. Doesn't want to obviously overextend here with Roach speed down. He needs to get Roach speed as well, and that is a mistake here from TLO for sure.
Yeah.
Both players now going back to droning here.
It's definitely a mistake not to start Roach speed. It's only 100-100. He definitely had the minerals quite a while ago. So what is the drone count for both? It's 52 against 49, slightly in favor of VortiX. Roach count is 11 against 20 in favor of TLO.
Yeah, maybe VortiX is planning an attack currently around his +2 attack, around 90 seconds time from here. Still no Roach speed from TLO. Yeah, massive mistake here. He'll notice as soon as he gets off creep here, more than likely. He's going to have to get that on its way. But currently, TLO 10 drone advantage. And we see VortiX stopping his drone production. He's going to go for that attack. He is going to go for that attack.
Yeah.
And with +2, there will be 1-1 for TLO. Currently, army supply equal.
Baneling speed.
Yeah, it's going to play Roach Baneling here. With Roach Baneling, you still need Roach speed, TLO.
Yeah, Roach speed would be more important than Baneling speed right now.
Yes. I guess if he's defending against an attack, maybe not as important.
He cancels the Baneling speed to get +2 carapace.
VortiX is building towards an attack, which is make or break here. 14 more Roaches, +2 attack is almost done. TLO will be at 1-1, and +2 attack better than 1-1 for sure.
I mean, if the Roaches are fighting, even then, the Roach speed helps because they can close the gap between the Roaches a little bit quicker. So,
true.
Of course, it doesn't give them any extra DPS, but they can just move a bit quicker, and
But the advantage which TLO will have when he has 2-2 and roach speed as well is going to be huge, man. It's going to be really, really big. VortiX needs to try and get some work done here, but it's going to be difficult to do so.
Oh, you can't move in there, I think. Maybe, actually? No. Yeah, yes, you have to retreat. The concave behind the rocks is incredibly good for TLO.
Oh, VortiX going to split up his units, though. He's got 6 or 7 roaches on that right-hand side. Likewise does TLO, actually. He's going to meet and greet both armies. And a snipe on the queen here is definitely going to go down, but that is maybe about it, as these roaches are going to get picked off, and VortiX can't break him here.
And if he can't break him, I don't think he can win this game.
Well, yeah.
2-2 speed, more eco for TLO. He didn't take any damage. There are still 2 roaches in the main base, but 2 roaches don't one-shot drones, so just got a single one. And I think, as you mentioned, once speed is finished with 2-2, he's probably going to be the one. He's
going to max out faster, which means he's going to start to bank faster because he's had a better economy for the majority of this game here compared to VortiX. And TLO could be looking at a 2-0 right here. He's got the 4th base coming in, and roach speed is done. 2-2, very close. Burrow on the way, as well as I'm sure tunneling claws will probably come into play, but bailing speed is going to be the play here. But roach versus roach, but the player with roach bailing versus roach is such a good advantage when those bailings come crashing through.
I mean, VortiX didn't max out as well, but it's 2-0 against 2-2 roaches, and 2-2 is not quite finished, so...
Yeah, 5 seconds or so, but TLO's going to go in for this, and the army supply is so similar right now. The upgrade's kicking in, +2 attack kicks in now for TLO, and +2 carapace kicks in now. Will this be the difference between these two players? Fantastic arc from both here. Absolutely huge, almost single file here, just to spread it out, and it looks like TLO is winning here. 20 supply advantage, more roaches on the field. TLO with an upgrade advantage, a great spread of units. Contaminate on the hatcheries as well. This is going to be the nail in the coffin for VortiX, who's going to be eliminated for the first time since Season 1 in 2013 here in the round of 16. And TLO will live to fight another series here and will go up.
He's blocking him with the changelings on the ramp.
Anything he can do here. A great move from TLO, and he's got such an advantage, even borrowing his units, I think, here and there. But he's got more. Good game, well played. TLO goes to the deciders match and will face off against either Yoda or Sang.
That was a rough series for VortiX, I have to say. TLO looked way better, like 100% better than in the first best of 3, obviously, because there he had no chances, but he just looked superior to VortiX. His build order seemed to be better in both games. Even though forgetting the roach speed for a while, it didn't really affect him. So very well played by TLO. Yeah,
really unfortunate loss there for VortiX here in the round of 16. But maybe TLO can carry that non-Korean flame through to the round of 8 from Group B. It's going to be a very difficult run, though, for the German, as we saw what happened earlier when he played Yoda, and we saw what happened when San played VortiX. So he's got to beat one of them. Depends, of course, on the result of the next match here, but a difficult road ahead for the German. So definitely going to take some time in this next match, compose himself to decide, of course, what strategy he'll use versus the loser. But until then, let's hear some words from the man of that series.
Thank you very much, Apollo. Yes, with TLO. Well done, Dario. Very good. I'm glad I've got this opportunity to talk to you, because I don't really know what happened in that first match, and I'm wondering whether you did, because that was the Dario we know. That was the man that we know is fantastic at builds, doesn't make mistakes, executes those strategies perfectly, and it seemed to work absolutely how you wanted it to work in the 2 games against VortiX. But before we talk about that, let's talk about the previous game. What was going on?
Well, I played like crap. What do you want me to say?
I'm glad you're on it. I was just trying to be tactful, Dario, but that's okay. You tell me how it is.
I mean, there's just no excuse. That's just how I play sometimes, and it's really bothersome, and I hate it. And it's happening less frequently, I believe, but it's still there, and it's a huge issue for me. But I just have to, you know, I was really upset. I was just sitting up behind there, and, you know, I thought it's over. Like, that's the first thought I have when this happens. I just think it's over. Like, but I managed to get my composure back, so I'm still looking forward to my next match anyway.
Okay, okay, that's good. I'm glad that you've said that. I know what you're like. I mean, we've talked about the inconsistency over the last couple of years, and I think it has got better over the last 12 months. I think this year you've had a much better year overall, but it's still there every now and again. So how do you break it? How do you, I mean, very quickly as well, because, you know, Funker and I joked about the fact that you haven't got much to think about because the games were pretty short, but as mean as that is, actually, you just have to forget about it because you haven't got long until the next match. So what did you do in between that made you refocus against VortiX?
Oh, I didn't do anything StarCraft 2 like I didn't want to think about anything StarCraft 2 related at all. Like I just shut it out completely.
So just blanking it out, thinking about the next game as if it's the first game of the day?
Basically, yeah.
Now, let's talk about the two matches. First game, Apollo said in his commentary, great build, great execution, no mistakes whatsoever. Was that how you saw it?
Well, there's always mistakes. Plenty of them, but it was details that, you know, they're not too important.
And second match, talk us through it.
Well, second match, I almost expected him to 10 pool maybe, so I went 15 pool instead of 15 hatchery, and I kind of wanted to emulate what I did first game to show him the same build and force a certain reaction, get a fast third like he did last time, but instead I hit even earlier, and that worked out brilliantly, so happy about that.
I mean, he's been a great player in WCS for the last, 4 seasons, always reaching the round of 8. It was important for you to win that game against a really big player, but now you've got to refocus again and either play one of the 2 Koreans that's left in. Have you got any preferences, any thoughts about it, or you just don't care and you want to play the game?
At this point, I don't care, to be honest. I just, I can't change it anyway. So if I would take a preference and then the other guy comes up, I would just feel bad, so whatever.
Yeah, I just wondered whether you maybe wanted a bit of revenge from the first match, show us maybe a different way of playing against the same player.
I don't care about that kind of stuff.
Good on you. Thank you very much. Dario is always very blunt but very honest, and we love that about him. He is safely through a very tricky losers game against VortiX, and we'll be back to play the final game in the group. He doesn't quite know yet who he's going to play, though. The 2 Koreans go head-to-head for the first place in the group. It's coming up next after the break. We'll see you in a few.